All right, and we're back. So, as promised, I had mentioned that I had downloaded some PDFs on crazy quilt patterns, and to see if that would help me break out of my everything has to be symmetrical. And I did. I feel like I did pretty well with these two that I didn't have patterns for. I don't hate the results on these. I like this one. I like the results on this one a little bit more than I do the dinosaur one, but I'm still fine with both of those. But I thought, okay, just to see if this makes it any easier for me, let me download one of these printable PDF patterns and go from there. So I did it. So this is the pattern. I had to space it out a little bit because obviously the piece of paper and the pattern itself was not as big as the piece of felt that I'm working with. So I did have to make some adjustments to it. But overall, I kept I kept it overall pretty much the same. So I'm pretty pleased. I'm pretty pleased. I gotta trim this little spot off, but other than that, I'm pleased with the results. What do you guys think? And this is gonna be our pirate ship themed one for um to go along with mine and my husband's sailboat. So I'm pretty pleased. Yeah, I like that. It looks really good. So now to determine thread and stitches. So actually I don't have a lot of red. I don't use a lot of red. I have that red that I use for basting thread, and I literally only have that because it came in a sewing box, I guess is the best way to put that. It's one of those Singer sewing kit thingies. So it's got all of these spools of different color thread, and it's like basic colors. So it's navy and black and white and red and a few other colors, some greens and stuff. And then it's got some pastel colors in there too. So it's just a little sewing kit for like mending things around the house, sewing buttons back on, that kind of thing. And that's literally the only reason I have that red spool of thread. So that being said, that red spool of thread, I obviously did not want to use on here because it's just basic thread. So I went the other day and picked up some reds. And I actually picked up quite a few more, but these are the ones that match. So I'm trying to decide now. This is a pearl number 8 in red, and it matches the red on here. And I think it contrasts well with the black, and I think it'll show up really well. But then there's also this variegated, and I think I really like this variegated. It's got the red that matches the rest of the red in here, but then it's also got some darker hues in here. So I kind of really like that. And this of course is stranded, just stranded cotton. And this is just a plain red stranded cotton. So I don't know, but I really like I think I'm gonna do this, and I'm probably gonna do it in 3 strands. Yeah, and with doing it in 3 strands, I'll show you what I can do. So let's pull this out some and see what our hues are in here. Okay, so it goes from bright to kind of dark. Let's do one more pull. Oh, and it goes even darker. Okay, so if we then break this out, so I can save that, and I'm going to do the same thing with that I do with this. So I'm going to pull one strand out of this, and I'm going to turn it around the other way. So then the variegation runs both directions, so it'll actually add to the contrast in the thread. So I kind of like that idea. So let's just see what this looks like. And I still have to decide what stitch I'm going to do. See, I've used chevron, I've used herringbone, I've used straight, I've used cretin. What kind of, ooh, X's. What about, yes, I could do cross stitches. I could just do big cross stitches. Or big and little cross stitches. I could do that. X marks the spot. It's pirates. We do a whole bunch of X's. Oh, I kind of like that. Yep, I like that. Okay, let's give it a try and see what this is going to look like. Oh, and I don't have this tacked down. I haven't tacked this down yet. Let me do that real quick and then I'll be back because I don't want all this shifting. Okay, let's get started on these X's. So I've got it tacked down, basted down, however you want to call it. And then I kind of want to do big X's. I'm gonna have to find a way to do this. Stab stitch, maybe. Should I connect them? I wonder if I should connect them. No connected X's. Let's do one and see what it looks like. Let's do a connected X and see what it looks like. Like actual cross stitches are connected. Let's split that. I kind of like that. I kind of like that look. And I like the variegation and the alternating variegation. Okay. There I go rolling my cough drop again. So I told you my daughter called earlier today. They have taken my grandson out of preschool and I am now going to homeschool him. There's lots of reasons for that. None of them that we don't like the school or the teacher or anything like that. The biggest reason for him is because he has asthma and he's just had a rough time with it, and it seems like every time someone in his class gets sick, he then in turn gets sick. So then in him, having asthma, it just takes him so much longer to recover from being sick, so he just misses. We're in October and he's already missed several days of school, and we end up having to go to the specialist and just do his nebulizer a whole lot more, and it's a thing, and it's stressful on his little body. It's stressful on my daughter and them worrying about getting in trouble for him missing school and stuff. So I think this will be better all the way around. She called me. She said he's excited that Granny's going to be his teacher now. So I love that. I love that he's excited that Granny is going to be his teacher. Granny's a little bit excited about being his teacher, but a little bit nervous. You know, I don't want to derail his learning or anything like that. And I honestly don't think that I will. He minds me well. He listens to me well. So I think he'll do just fine. But there's always that concern. I think when trying anything new, there's always a concern of, am I going to do this right? And you'll probably notice my little compression brace over here. I have been rough on myself, but definitely with the bookstore. So I'm not calling it carpal tunnel because it's not officially been diagnosed, I guess, as carpal tunnel. So I'm hoping, honestly, that that's not what it is. But I do know that I have overextended my ligaments in my wrist because I pick up stacks of books, large, heavy stacks of books at one time. Because I'm one of those, we don't have time to do a whole bunch of, small trips back and forth or whatever. Let's get as many as we can and let's go. And that's my mentality on it anyways. So because of that, I have overextended those ligaments on many, many occasions and overworked them. They tend to scream at me now, and there are certain ways that I can't move my wrist without it screaming at me. And it's necessarily the fact that I pick up a lot of books at one time, like, by the spine, doing like that. It's more the fact that I pick up hardbacks like that. So it's the weight that I have, the weight and the pressure that I have exerted on those ligaments by doing that. So I guess I'm now paying the price for that. It's been screaming at me for several days now, so I finally broke down and broke out the compression brace. I don't do it. I don't wear it probably as often as I should. I only wear it when it's screaming loud enough that it says I have to. And it does help. I just don't like wearing it all the time. I don't like tight things on my wrist. Like my watch band can't even be tight. So I'm just not a fan of tight things, although it does make it feel better. But I can only wear it for so long before I'm like, okay, that's gotta go. Can I think I can get one more stitch out of that. I'm not a thread waster. I don't know if y'all have noticed that. And a big part of that is because when I was taught to cross stitch, the lady who taught me how to cross stitch, well, that kind of went in a wave, but that's okay. But the lady who taught me how to cross stitch was an elderly lady who on a fixed income, and she was all about not wasting thread. So I picked that up from her, and it's not a bad habit to get into. It's not a bad thing. I mean, I know I'm not the only one who is conscientious of wasting thread and stuff, so it's not a bad thing. I'm gonna untack this piece before I get there, and I'm gonna slide it a little bit more this way, and I'm kind of I have to angle it a little bit and slide it this way. But as you can see, or maybe you can see, the anchor underneath is showing through. So I kind of want to get that out or over just a little bit, enough so that it's not showing through. And I may trim off a little bit of this under here to keep that from showing through as well. So I'm going to untack that in a little bit, which is why I actually stopped tacking down. And I thought, well, I'll just stop tacking down and just start actually stitching down. And then when I get to here, I'll just untack this, and this will be stitched down. And then I can just shift everything as I need to. Anyway, that's my thought process on that. But what do you think? I like it. I like it. And I like the variegation in that. I do like it. Looks neat. All right, well, let's continue that. It's been a pretty busy day for me today. My order came in. Ow. Gracious. Slow down. Stabbing yourself. My order came in. I got that put in the system and put out. So I am noticing, though, that it stops looking like X's when you connect them. So maybe I should only do a few seams like this, just so that it's not the only seam like this, but then go back to doing individual X's. Maybe. I know I should have finished this over here, but again, I didn't want to like go down to here and stitch this piece into place when I want to move it. So I'm going to come back up here. Oh, I made that one small. Let's start working our way a little bit bigger, maybe. What's coming out? Do that out. Bending it up, but it's harder than it sounds. Maybe I should have tacked down at least a few stitches over here. Let's see. Since I'm struggling to get it to stay put. It's too close to the edge of that piece. Kind of like that look. What do y'all think? Yeah, I like that look too. I like that better than that. But I'll do these. I'll finish that seam out like that, and I may just do these edge seams like that, and then do all the rest of them like that. So this is not the one outlier, and I really don't want to pull all of that out. So I'll just do this on the inside and do this on the outside, and I think we'll call it good. Okay, like that. We have a plan. We have a plan. Having a plan is half the battle. All right, isn't that the same? I think that's the same. Maybe it's having a good plan is half the battle. I'm not sure. Right? I'm going with it. I'm calling it a good plan. How do we go? Go this way. Oh, sorry guys, I think I had that out of frame. I'm not sure. Just over here in my own little stitching room. Hello. I think I went too far. Further than I wanted to go. Oh well. Well, that's making it bigger. Not sure if that's a good thing or not. Oh, I got a new book in today. was going to show you guys. I like that. I like that a lot. Did I have it? I'm not sure. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, I'm going to continue that. Going to continue that. So I'll be back in a little bit to show you guys how it went. And it's done. This one went really quickly, but I really like how that turned out. I'm making a shadow on there. What you think? I think it turned out lovely. I'm so excited.